ராமானுஜதயாபாத்திரம் ஞான வைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம் லக்ஷ்மீநாதசமாரம்பாம் நாதயாமுனமத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சார்யபர்யந்தாம் வந்தே குருபரம்பராம் யோ நித்யமச்சுதபதாம்புஜயுக்மருக்மவ்யாமோஹதஸ்ததிதராணி த்ரிணாய மேனே अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये मातापिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्धना भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वय भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखर योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणु परकाल यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम् उत्पन्नाद् द्रविडे चाहं कर्णाटे वृद्धिमागता स्थिता किञ्चिन् महाराष्ट्रे गुर्जरे जीर्णतां गता. These lines are taken from the Padma Puranam, where a little girl Bhakti tells Narada about her life story. She says, "O Narada, hear about my whereabouts. I was born in the Dravida Desham, which is Tamil Nadu, aged in Karnataka, resided for a while in Maharashtra, and retired in Gujarat." The Bhakti movement in Bharatam has seen the involvement and contribution of saints, poets, philosophers, and preceptors who are celebrated even today through their poems, songs, and treatises. We know that Bhakti was born in the Dravida Desham, but who were the ones who inaugurated the Bhakti movement? Kalau khalu bhavishyanti narayana parayanaha kvachit kvachin mahabhaga dramideshu cha bhurishaha ताम्रपर्णी नदी यत्र कृतमाला पयस्विनी कावेरी च महापुण्या प्रतीची च महानदी. These lines are taken from Srimad Bhagavatam. Shuka-Brahman prophesizes, in the Kali Yuga, great devotees of Sriman Narayana will be born in the Dravida Desha on the banks of the rivers Tamraparani, Kritamala, Payaswini, Kaveri and Mahanadi. How do we know these great devotees today? Probably Shuka-Brahman refers to the Azhwars, the mystic saint poets of the Tamil Bhakti tradition. The Azhwars are said to be 12 in number, while certain scholars opine that the number is 14, with the inclusion of Bhagavad Ramanuja and Swami Vedanta Desika. On the banks of the river Tamraparani were born Nammazhwar and Madhurakavi Azhwar. On the banks of the river Kritamala, called Vaigai in Tamil, were born Periya Azhwar and Andal. On the banks of the river Payaswini or Palar in Tamil were born Puigai Azhwar, Bhudat Azhwar, Pei Azhwar, Thiruvaimozhi Azhwar, Bhagavad Ramanuja and Swami Desika. On the banks of river Kaveri were born Tondaradippudi Azhwar, Tiruppan Azhwar and Tirumangai Azhwar. On the banks of river Mahanadi or Periyar flowing through Kerala was born Kulashekara Azhwar. What was the need for the Azhwars to be born? The Lord Shriyapati Sriman Narayana had taken several avatarams for the purpose of establishing dharma, but in the process did not make his devotees aware of the means to attain him. In order to convey the importance of Bhakti Yogam and Sharanagati, the Lord took the Abhinava Dashavataram or the contemporary 10 avatars. He ordered his Ayudhas, the weapons that he wields, and the Nityasuris, the ones who are in eternal servitude to him in Sri Vaikuntham, to be born on earth. In Tamil, we say, ஆழ்ந்து கிடப்பவர்கள் ஆழ்வார்கள், which means The Azhwars are the ones who are steeped in devotion to the Lord. The devotional outpourings of the Azhwars are compiled into a work called the Nalayira Divya Prabandham, which has, as the name suggests, 4,000 verses. The Azhwars have also given us a set of Charitrams or shrines called the Divyadesams that they have glorified through their verses. This is the beginning of a series of discourses on the Azhwars, their life stories and their works. In this Pravachan, we will go to the banks of the river Tamraparani and look at the life history of the Acharya-Shishya, the teacher-disciple duo in the Azhwars, that is Swami Nammazhwar and Madhurakavi Azhwar. Let us go to a town called Thirukkurugur in the Thoothukudi district of Tamil Nadu. Thirukkurugur is one of the 108 Divyadesams, and the Lord here is Vaitamanidhi. In this town, in the month of Chaitra or Chittirai, under the Chitra Nakshatram, was born a poet and scholar. He was an incarnation of Kumudagana, one of the attendants to Vishwaksena, who is the commander-in-chief of the Lord at Vaikuntham. He had a melodious voice and was hence called Madhurakavi. Madhurakavi went to the north of Bharatam for a pilgrimage. One day, in Ayodhya, he noticed a spark of light which was moving towards the south. Madhurakavi started following the spark, and this led him all the way from Ayodhya to Thirukkurugur, near the temple of Lord Adipiran. Near this temple there was a tamarind tree, in the hollow of which Madhurakavi noticed a young boy of 16 years who was deep in contemplation. Who was this young boy? Purkaryar, who belonged to an illustrious cultivator family called Prapanna Kulam, which was steeped in devotion to the Lord, wanted to find a bride for his son Karyar. He went to the town of Thiruvandhadhi or Tirupatisaram near Nagarkoil in Tamil Nadu. In this town, there was a woman, Udayanangai. Karyar was married to Udayanangai. One day, this couple went to the town of Thirukkurungudi, again one of the 108 Divyadesams in the Pandya region, and prayed to the Lord there, who is Vaishnava Nambi, for a child. The Lord promised the couple that he will be born to them as their child. Eventually, a child was born to them 42 days after the onset of Kali Yugam, in the month of Vaishakam or Vaikasi, in the Vishakha Nakshatram. He was born in a town called Thirukkurugur or Tirunagari on the banks of river Tamraparani. He was born as an incarnation of Vishwaksena, whom, as we have seen earlier, is the commander-in-chief of the Lord at Vaikuntham. It is said that a fetus in the womb is endowed with all the quintessential knowledge. But when the child is born and exposed to the external environment for the first time, a particular component of the air called the Shatavayu, upon hitting the head of the child, results in the child forgetting the quintessential knowledge that it was endowed with. When this child was born and the Shatavayu was about to hit him, he got furious and said, "O Shatavayu, you want to hit me so that I lose all the quintessential knowledge I have? If that happens, how will I write 4 works that are the essence of the 4 Vedas? So I will kick you." The child who kicked the Shatavayu in anger or kopa came to be known as Shatakopa. He was named Maran by his parents. This little child was different from an ordinary child. He did not cry. He refused to drink milk despite multiple efforts by his mother. He did not respond to any external stimuli. Not knowing what to do, Kariyar and Udayanangai decided to leave this child at the feet of the Lord Adipiran in Thirukkurugur. The child then got up, crawled into the hollow of a nearby tamarind tree and began to contemplate. This tamarind tree was actually Adisesha, the serpent who is the couch for Mahavishnu. This was the child in the hollow of the tamarind tree near the temple of Adipiran at Thirukkurugur, noticed by Madhurakavi. Madhurakavi always had a question in his mind, but he did not know whom to ask the question to. There was no ChatGPT back in the day. Madhurakavi noticed a certain aura surrounding this little boy Maran and decided to ask the question to him. Madhurakavi clapped to gain the attention of the little boy and asked, "Settathin vayittril siriyadu pirandal yettai thinnu enge kidakkum?" The passers-by thought Madhurakavi was crazy to talk to this statue. But little did they know that this was a conversation that was going to script history. For the first time in his life, this boy Maran opened his mouth and answered, "Adai attai thinnu ange kidakkum." Madhurakavi received the answer to a question that was in his mind for a very long time, and he immediately fell at the feet of Maran and accepted him as his Acharya. Okay, but what does this conversation mean? What is the aphorism in this conversation? The question that was posed by Madhurakavi was, when the Jivatma, which is an embodiment of knowledge, is housed in a perishable body, what does it thrive upon? Maran answered that the Jivatma will thrive on the accumulated karma until it decides to leave the body on its own terms. Notice how Maran refers to karma as that or attai. He does not refer to it as karma. This is similar to how Lord Voldemort in Harry Potter is called he who must not be named. This 16-year-old Maran went on to become Swami Nammazhwar, and Madhurakavi went on to become Madhurakavi Azhwar. Swami Nammazhwar composed 4 works which are the essence of the 4 Vedas. Tiruviruttam, the essence of Rigvedam; Tiruvasiriyam, the essence of Yajurvedam; Periya Thiruvandhadhi, the essence of Atharvana Vedam; and finally Thiruvaimozhi, which is the essence of Samavedam, which is also celebrated in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam as Bhagavad Vishayam. Hence, Nammazhwar is called Vedam Tamil Seida Maran, he who gave us the Vedas in Tamil. Thiruvaimozhi is special because it has numerous commentators who have commented upon it. Thirukkurugai Piran Pillan, Vadikesari Azhaya Manavala Jiyar, Nanjiyar, Vadakku Thiruvidi Pillai, Periyavachan Pillai, Swami Vedanta Desika, Swami Manavala Mamunigal, Uttamur Swami, Sakshat Swami. There are numerous commentaries on Thiruvaimozhi that a single lifetime is not enough to study each and every one of them. That is the greatness of Thiruvaimozhi. Let us look at some of the verses of Swami Nammazhwar from his works. Let us first look at an interesting verse in Periya Thiruvandhadhi, which is considered to be the essence of Atharvana Vedam. Puviyum iru visumbum nin agatta ni yen seviyil vali pugundu yen ullai avivu indri யான் பெரியன் நீ பெரியை என்பதனை யார் அறிவாய் ஊன் பருகு நேமியாய் உள்ளு. Here Azhwar says, O Sriman Narayana, you are the supreme being. You wield the disc that destroys the flesh of the enemies. But you have entered me through my ears because I have heard your holy name. You have entered me through my ears and you are now inside me. Now you are the supreme being. The entire world is under your jurisdiction. And you are contained inside me because you have entered through my ears in the form of your holy name. So now I contain you. So who is really the supreme being among the two of us? He asks. So through this paradox, Azhwar gives us the message that the Lord can also be found within us, that is as Antaryami. Let us look at a pasuram from Thiruvaimozhi, where Azhwar sings the praises of the Lord Adipiran at Thirukkurugur or Tirunagari, which is also his birthplace. And this town is known today as Azhwar Tirunagari because of the greatness of Swami Nammazhwar. ஒன்னும் தேவும் உலகும் உயிரும் மற்றும் யாதும் இல்லாவன்னு நான்முகன் தன்னோடு தேவர் உலகோடு உயிர் படைத்தான் குன்றம்போல் மணிமாட நீடு திருக்குறுகூர் அதனுள் நின்ன ஆதிப்பிரான் நிற்க மற்றை தெய்வம் நாடுதிரே. Nammazhwar asks, the Lord Adipiran is present at Thirukkurugur, but leaving him, you are going after worshipping subordinate devatas like Indra, Yama, Agni and so on, when this Lord was present in the beginning when none of the other devatas like Indra, Yama and Agni were present. Nammazhwar wrote some of his pasurams as a Nayaki, a heroine who is yearning to be with her beloved. In this case, the Lord. Hence, he is called Parankusha Nayaki. In some pasurams, he echoes the sentiments of the mother of the Nayaki, called Thaai-pasurams. Let us look at one such pasuram, which the Azhwar sung in praise of the Lord in Thirukkurugur, that is Vaitamanidhi. உன்னும் சோறு பருகு நீர் தின்னும் வெற்றிலையும் எல்லாம் கண்ணன் எம்பெருமான் என்னென்று கண்கள் நீர் மல்கி மண்ணின் உழவன் அவன் சீர் வளம் மிக்கவனூர் வினவி திண்ணம் என் இளமான் புகுமூர் திருக்கோளூரே. For her, Krishna is the food that she consumes for sustenance, the water she drinks to quench the thirst, the betel leaf that she consumes for pleasure. Her intense love for the Lord is visible through her unstoppable crying. I am sure that this young girl has not gone far. She has gone to Thirukkurugur. Let us look at another pasuram in praise of Lord Ranganatha and Srirangam. கண்குலும் பகலும் கண்துயில் அறியால் கண்ணநீர் கைகளால் இறைக்கும் சங்கு சக்கரங்கள் என்று கை கூப்பும் தாமரை கண் என்றே தளரும் எங்கனே தரிக்கேன் உன்னை விட்டு என்னும் இருநிலம் கைத்துழா இருக்கும் செங்கையல்பாய் நீர் திருவரங்கத்தாய் இவன் திறத்து என் செய்கின்றாயே. O Lord of Srirangam, my girl always thinks of you and cries endlessly without any sleep at night or during the day. Her tears have flooded the entire house. She thinks of the ayudas or the weapons that you wield, the shankham and the chakram, and folds her hands. She melts on thinking about the exquisite beauty of your lotus-like eyes and thinks, how will I be able to survive without you? She digs the earth with both her hands in search of you. O Lord, are you going to do anything about her? There are instances where Parankusha Nayaki sends birds as messengers to convey her feelings to the Lord that she is unable to bear the separation from him. Similar to how pigeons were sent, kabutar, ja, ja, ja. Similarly here, Parankusha Nayaki sends birds as messengers. Nammazhwar as Parankusha Nayaki sends birds as messengers in 4 pasurams. Let us look at 2 of them. Let us look at a pasuram where Azhwar as Parankusha Nayaki sends a messenger bird to the Lord of Thiruvandhadhi, which is a Divyadesam in Kerala. Vaigal Pungalivai Vandumeyum Kuruginangal Seigol Sennel Uyar Thiruvandhadhi Urayum Kaikol Chakkarathu Yenkani Vai Peruman Kandu Kaigal Kuppi Chollir Vinayattiyen Kadanmayai. O Kurugu birds, the ones who come to this place full of flowers every day, my Lord is present in Thiruvandhadhi, which is flooded with fully grown tall paddy fields. Please go to him and convey my love for him. He wields the strong chakra in his hand and has the most lovely reddish fruit-like lips and mouth. Please convey my love to him with folded hands. In a different pasuram, Parankusha Nayaki knows that the birds are expecting something in return for being her messenger. So she says, Ponnulagaliro Bhuvani Muzhudaliro Nannala Pullingangal Vinayattiyen Naniranden Mun Ulagangal Yellam Padaitha Mugilvannan Kannan Yen Alankonda Piran Tanakku Yennilamai Uraithe. O dear birds, if you inform the dark-hued Lord about my pitiable state, I will give you both this transient world, Leela Vibhuti, that is Bhulokam, and the eternal world, the Nitya Vibhuti, that is Vaikuntham, to rule. A man, while singing, considering himself to be a woman. Several scholars raised objections to Swami Nammazhwar singing as Parankusha Nayaki and Thirumangai Azhwar singing as Parakala Nayaki. Swami Desika made a case for this in his Dramidopanishad Tatparya Ratnavali and explained that there is a precedent to this in Sri Mahabharatam. When Draupadi was getting ready for her wedding, the bridesmaids admired her alluring beauty while dressing her up. One of them remarked, I should have been a male to enjoy the exquisite beauty of Draupadi even more. Citing this reference, Desika says, when a lady in Mahabharatam became male in her mind to relish the beauty of Draupadi, what is wrong with Azhwar becoming a Nayika in his compositions? He writes, Panchali Gatra Shobha Hridaya Vadhur Varga Pumbhava Nitya. We have looked at Swami Nammazhwar's Charitram and his works. Let us look at Madhurakavi Azhwar. Like any other Azhwar, Madhurakavi Azhwar was also going to sing the praises of the Lord. However, he sang the praise of Swami Nammazhwar, who was everything to him. The 11 verses of Madhurakavi Azhwar in praise of Swami Nammazhwar are called Kanninun Siruthambu, and it is part of the Nalayira Divya Prabandham. Kanninun Siruthambinal Kattunna Panniya Perumayan Yennappanil Nanni Thirukkurugur Nampi Ennakkal Annikkum Amudurum Yennavukke. Lord Krishna, who is the Supreme Being, made himself to be tied by his mother Yashoda with a long rope made from tying together small pieces of rope. But the name of my Lord Nammazhwar, who hails from Thirukkurugur in the south, is always more nectarine for me to recite. Navinal Navindren Inbameidinen Mevinen Avan Ponnadi Meimayai Tevumatrariyen Kurugur Nambi Pavinin Innisai Padi Tirivane. The recitation of the name of Azhwar, Nammazhwar, gives me bliss, and I have surrendered at his feet. I do not know of any other god than Azhwar of Thirukkurugur, and I will travel places singing his glories. Madhurakavi Azhwar was the only Azhwar who did not sing in praise of the Lord. he sang in praise of his Acharya, Swami Nammazhwar, who was in turn devoted to the Lord. The Acharya plays a very important role in the route to salvation or moksham. Acharya-bhakti is one step above Bhagavad-Bhakti, and it is for this reason that Madhurakavi Azhwar is celebrated for his Acharya-bhakti. For this reason, our Acharyas draw an analogy between Madhurakavi Azhwar and Shatrughna. Among the three brothers of Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna, Lakshmana and Bharata served Rama directly. Shatrughna, on the other hand, served Bharata. Shatrughnaha nitya Shatrughnaha, says Valmiki. Lakshmana and Bharata exhibited Bhagavat Seshatvam, that is servitude to the Lord, and Shatrughna exhibited Bhagavata Seshatvam, that is servitude to the devotee of the Lord. Madhurakavi Azhwar belonged to a Brahmin family, and Nammazhwar was a Shudra. A Brahmin learnt from a Shudra, and a Shudra gave us the essence of the 4 Vedas in Tamil. Thirumangai Azhwar, who gave us the essence of the 6 Vedangas through his 6 works, is also a Shudra. This shows us that all the Varnas are equal before the Lord, and none of them is superior to the other. It also shows us that bhakti can exist regardless of caste, regardless of nationality, regardless of gender, or any such social group. How is Nammazhwar present in the temples till date? Since Nammazhwar is called Shatakopa, as we have seen earlier, he exists as Shatari in the temples, which is in the shape of a crown and is placed on the heads of devotees. If you notice, on top of the Shatari are the feet of the Lord. So the Shatari is symbolic of Swami Nammazhwar bearing the feet of the Lord. After living for 32 years, Swami Nammazhwar ascended to Paramapadam on the Vaikuntha Ekadashi day. Nammazhwar has an important position in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam. In fact, the word Azhwar by default refers to Swami Nammazhwar, unless the names of the other Azhwars are mentioned. Some scholars consider Nammazhwar to be the main Azhwar and the other Azhwars to be parts of his body. Bhudat Azhwar his head, Poigai and Pei Azhwar as his eyes, Periya Azhwar as his face, Tirumalizai Azhwar as his neck, Kulashekara Azhwar and Tiruppan Azhwar as his hands, Tondaradippudi Azhwar as his chest, Tirumangai Azhwar as his navel, and Madhurakavi Azhwar as his feet. What we have seen today is just a small snippet of the lives and works of Swami Nammazhwar and Madhurakavi Azhwar. Our Acharyas have composed works that celebrate both these Azhwars as well as their works extensively. However, this is just a glimpse into the lives and works of these Azhwars. Hopefully, this introduction to the Azhwars and their works will inspire many people to read more about the Azhwars and delve deeper into their esoteric compositions, and also appreciate the beauty of Tamil, the beauty of Azhwar's Pasurams, and the beauty of the vyakhyanas that our Acharyas have given to us. Nalla kotpaattu ulagangal mooninullum தான் நிறைய அல்லி கமலக்கண்ணனை அந்தன் குருகூர் சடகோபன் சொல்லப்பட்ட ஆயிரத்துள் இவை பத்தும் வல்லார்கள் நல்ல பதத்தால் மனைவாழ்வர் கொண்ட பிண்டீர் மக்களே. நமஸ்காரம். கவிதார்க்கிக சிம்ஹாய கல்யாண குணசாலினே ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேஷாய வேதாந்த குரவே நமஹ.